What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below as it's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date here with everything. And also, thanks so much for hitting the like button for us down below. Also, I have a very interesting story you're going to want to watch here in this video on today's episode of You Can't Make This Stuff Up. So make sure to watch all the way to the end. We have a major ruling that just came out that is going to affect, well, almost everybody here, at least for the time being. Check this out. A federal judge here yesterday in Florida has struck down the CDC mask mandate for travel, including airplanes. And as you can see here, the TSA is not enforcing this travel mask mandates after the judge has struck it down. So as of right now, you do not have to wear masks on airplanes and major traveling venues like buses, trains, and airplanes. This is literally as of last night. Here are the details. A federal judge in Florida on Monday struck down the CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's mask mandates for travel on planes, trains, and buses. Judge Catherine Kimball Mazel, an appointee of former President Trump, wrote that the CDC exceeded its statutory authority with the order. Now, first, it's very interesting that a judge would come to this determination now, here in the end of April 2022, when we've been having to wear masks on airplanes and, buses, trains, and planes for, I mean, we're in year number 3 of the pandemic, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Now, we have a judge decide this. One single judge comes to this decision. 3 years into the pandemic, we have one judge come to this decision. It's kind of crazy to think that. I mean, let me know your thoughts here, but if this is the case, why did it take 3 years for one judge to come to this decision? And what about all the other judges in the country? And why did it take 3 years? Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. And what do you think this is going to do for travel here, with everybody traveling, in an enclosed space, say on a plane? Do you think this is going to make people more willing to travel, less willing to travel? Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Meisel's new ruling comes down in part to the definition of the word sanitation in the law. She wrote that while the government argued for a broader definition of the word, including preventing disease, she uses a narrower definition limited to cleaning measures. Quote, wearing a mask cleans nothing, she wrote. This is where you get into different people have different definitions and different opinions on things. And you definitely see this in the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court. In fact, they almost always use the word opinion. In fact, you'll see this very often in the Supreme Court, where you'll see Supreme Court cases come down to decisions 5-4. and oftentimes, or 6-3, or something like that. And a lot of times you'll see all the Republican judges ruling one way, the Democratic judges ruling another way, and oftentimes you'll see they'll say, "My opinion is," and things like that. And you can tell who's Democrat and who Republican. Former Democratic presidents appoint Democratic judges, Republican presidents appoint Republican judges, and these judges will literally say, "My opinion on the matter is," and this is why you can literally see Supreme Court cases come down to their opinion on the law, and this is just how different judges interpret the law differently. It's really kind of crazy because you can take 100 judges and they can look at the law, and some of them can just interpret it differently. And this is how our judicial system works sometimes. Judge Mazel added that the CDC had also failed to follow the rulemaking process laid out in the law and provided a sufficient justification for the mandate. The CDC had recently extended the order for 15 days through May 3rd, amid some discussion on whether to end it, but the agency decided more time was needed to monitor an uptick in cases from the BA.2 subvariant of Omicron. The CDC responded with, quote, "CDC recommends that people continue wearing masks in indoor public transportation settings and that they are assessing potential next steps." Steve Vladek, a law professor at the University of Texas, tweeted that airports and travel should be at the core of the CDC's legal authority to prevent the spread of the disease. Quote, "This is both a big deal and a truly preposterous nationwide injunction," he wrote of the order. "The CDC's statutory authority is specifically directed at preventing the spread of communicable diseases across state lines. Where else is such spread more likely to occur than the transport hubs like airports? The ruling can be appealed, but there could be confusion in the short term." And as of right now, the TSA is not enforcing travel mask mandates after this federal judge in Florida has struck it down. The White House says they are currently urging travelers to keep wearing masks after the quote, "disappointing ruling." So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. This is, of course, everybody's going to have a different opinion on this, and a lot of people's opinion are going to be based on their personal experience with the virus, whether or not they've caught the virus, whether or not how their experience was with the virus, and also people's political opinions. Believe it or not, a lot of people have completely different opinions on the virus, whether they're Democrat or Republican. As crazy as that sounds, how that came to be with a virus, it became a political thing. I mean, I understand it, but it's crazy to me. But let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Meanwhile, oil prices are gaining, they're going back up, and we're seeing a lot of other prices go up as well right now, like the prices on eggs and chicken, as well as corn, as we're seeing a lot of different prices and inflation surge right now. As you can see here, corn futures are surging as well right now. Yeah, as you can see here, the price of corn has just hit a 9-year high. As the surge in commodities continue, the contracts, they're traded on a stock-like exchange. Contract futures for July corn futures were trading above $8 a bushel on Monday, the highest level since September 2012. Corn is just one of several agricultural commodities that were seen surging in price in recent weeks, in part due to the war in Ukraine. As you can see here, Ukraine is a major exporter of wheat, corn, and other items such as sunflower oil, while Russia is a key exporter of wheat and many other chemicals used in fertilizer. And that is leading traders to bet that higher input costs and more demand for corn as a substitute food item will drive up the price. Also, the gas price relief that was passed in several different states for only a month is already coming to an end as yeah, that went by quick. So that's why the problem here with some states that only passed it for a month, like Maryland, that passed a 35-cent per gallon state tax relief that costs $150 million per month, saying, wow, that went by quick. And do we want to spend another $150 million again? Is up for debate. That is a stimulus type of program. It provided $150 million to everybody in the state who went and filled up gas. But now they're wondering, is that the best way to spend $150 million per month? And a lot of other states are doing this here as well. You can see this headline: Colorado Democrats make the case for pausing the new gasoline tax that they passed last year. And I mean, this is the kind of question here that a lot of states are considering. Do they pause gas taxes? Do they pass state stimulus checks? I'm actually going to have a massive, massive stimulus check video for you guys in the next video here. Do not miss that. It's going to be a really, really big video here. But the problem here right now is the price of oil is currently on the rise. As you can see here, WTI crude is back up and Brent crude back up pretty dramatically. Both of these were below $100 a barrel, and yeah, they're up big time. WTI crude is up to almost 108 a barrel. Brent crude up to 113 a barrel, 112.9. Disregard these graphs because it's literally like what's only happened in the last 11 minutes. These graphs are always kind of a little bit misleading to the viewers. You really just got to look at the prices here. 107.8, we'll just round to 108. 112.9 for Brent's crude. Both of these crude prices are really just basically influence the price of gas and the price of diesel. You can see the prices of natural gas and heating oil here as well. And yeah, so that's the problem here, is that oil prices are back on the rise. And the price of gas here in the United States has not fallen enough. It has only fallen 3 cents in the last week. You can see here a week ago, the national price, the national average was 4.11. Now it's 4.08. In fact, in the last day, it's actually gone up almost a penny, 408.7 as opposed to 408.0. So gas is already back on the rise. And yeah, that's kind of the problem here, is that gas is already starting to partially creep up here. And remember that when oil was really up, the price of gas was going up 10 cents a day. 10 cents a day. But when oil started to fall dramatically, it only went down 1 cent, 1 penny per day. Yeah, and you can see here, diesel is still unbelievably high, $5.03 for a gallon of diesel. And this really affects everybody with the price of food and the price of anything you buy at the store, whether it's a pair of shoes, a mop, a toy for your kid, or anything you buy, because everything has to be shipped to the store. And this is partially why food prices in the US and globally along the whole world are at all-time highs for the whole world. United Nations says the whole world food prices are at all-time global highs. 503 here. Diesel prices are literally not dropping at all. You can see here a week ago they were at 504 and a month ago they were at 506. So they're literally not dropping. You can see here the high price for diesel, the highest price ever was 513. We're only 7 cents below that. And you can see here regular unleaded that was at over a month ago, a month and a week ago, and they're just not dropping. They've only dropped 7 cents. And remember that the high price of crude was $140 a barrel. We're only at 113. I mean, that's like 30% lower, 25% lower. We should be 30% lower on diesel as well, but we're not. And this is the problem, is that these oil companies are not passing on the savings. And it kind of makes you want, I mean, regular unleaded 433, we're at 408. That's only like 25 cents below the all-time high. That's not 30%. I mean, 30% would be 30 cents per dollar. We should be $1.20 below. We should be at like $3, not 408. And then this is the problem here, is the price of oil is not directly correlating to the price we're paying at the pump. These prices are just out of whack. Out of whack. It's just really, really, they're overinflated. They're really just overinflated. The oil companies are just gouging us because the price of oil is significantly lower than the all-time highs we hit just about a month ago. This was at 140 and this was at 135. But we're not seeing the savings at what we're paying for gas. The oil companies are making these billions and billions of dollars. They're just literally taking advantage of us. Yeah, and really this is gonna continue to hurt our country and the whole world economy. In fact, you can see this. The World Bank just slashed the global growth forecast from 3.2 to 4.1% because of the Ukraine war and the inflation and the price of gas and the price of food. That's like a 20, almost 25% cut there. That's a significant cut, and the price of gas, the price of oil, the price of food, the price of shipping, the price of inflation is literally hurting everybody. And this is why stimulus is so important right now, to help everybody just kind of get by. This inflation is just really just, it's just hurting everybody. It's hurting the whole world. And how can anybody grow? How can economies grow? How can people survive when you're looking at gas prices like this? Gas prices drive everything. They drive inflation. They drive the price of food. They drive the price of everything. It's just really, really sad. It's really hurting everybody right now. Yeah. And the problem is the longer this war goes on, the longer that Russia continues to do this, it's going to continue to make these food shortages problem, this inflation problem, these oil problem, and I mean Ukraine is giving it their best, and literally all the countries around the world are supplying Ukraine with the best of their abilities, but this could go on for a long while. In fact, here's my interesting story. There's Lily. Here's my interesting story of the day. In the latest episode of "You Can't Make This Stuff Up," we just had Ukraine sank. Hi. Here, come on over here and say hi. Here's Lily here. You know, Ukraine just sank that ship, Russia's largest battleship. Um, they do have one aircraft carrier, which is larger, but it's their largest battleship. But check this out. There's a couple very interesting things that could have been on that ship. Number one, as you can see here from Business Insider, that Russian warship that was sunk in Ukraine may have been carrying a piece of the True Cross. a treasured Christian relic. And especially with Easter that has just passed, this is kind of a truly sad story, if true. And actually, very, I don't even know the words for it, but here are the details. Check this out. And this is Business Insider, so I mean, and they kind of have some details to back this up. Check this out. The Moskva, the missile cruiser that was the flagship of Russia's Black Sea fleet that sank on Thursday following an explosion on board that the Russia state media reported. Yeah, probably because of the missiles that were shot at it, right? A news report from 2020 has given rise to the question on whether the vessel sank with a Christian relic on board, a piece of the quote, true cross on board. The Russian Orthodox Church announced in February of 2020 that the relic had been delivered to the then commander of the Black Sea Fleet, Vice Admiral Igor Ospibov, and was at the fleet's headquarters, ready to deliver it to the ship shortly. The state-run TASS news agency reported at the time. The relic in question is a fragment of wood that, according to believers, is a piece of the cross on which Christ was crucified, TASS said. Wow. The fragment is embedded in a 19th century metal cross, which is itself kept in a reliquary, according to the outlet. The Moskva the ship had a chapel on board where sailors could pray, and the archpriest of the Russian Orthodox Church told the news outlet. He said the fragment was to be transferred at the request of its owner, an anonymous collector. Business Insider was unable to establish when the relic was finally transferred to the ship or if it was on board at the time of the vessel's sinking. The Russian embassy in London did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The sinking of the ship was a prize flagship is a major blow to Russian morale, Western officials said. Also to note that many different experts are worried about that the warship was carrying nuclear weapons. I'm not sure how much of a worry it is being at the bottom of the sea there, but it is a possibility that they were aboard that ship. So that is another potential worry that is in the news. So there was potentially a lot of different interesting items on that ship. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here. And I mean, let's hope that a piece of the actual cross wasn't on there. Um, yeah, that's something that would not be replaceable. That's for sure. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Maybe we'll learn some more about that in the upcoming days. Maybe they'll be able to tell us if it was on there or if it's been transported. I'll keep you up to date. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will have a really big stimulus check update for you guys in the next video at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here later today. So don't miss out on that video next. You can click here to watch my next video, or my newest video, I should say. And you can also click here to see how low income and middle income people can get up to $6,900. Click that video if you haven't watched that yet either. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.